Hi, everybody. It's Julie Dipp from OC Autism again. As you know, I'm the special guest host for CBN TV, and we have some great, amazing community servants here. And this is our friend,
Assemblymember Sharon Quirk Silva.
Sharon. Thank you so much for being here.
And Councilmember Jesus Silva from Fullerton. Great place, great venue.
We are so happy to see you, and we know every time we're in Fullerton, we get to see you guys. And who is this special person here?
I'm Leland Wilson. I served on the council with Sharon years ago.
And you are
A president of the Fox Theater.
And you know, that is amazing because we are here and everyone is so excited that we're bringing the Fox Theater back and we're reviving it.
Yes.
So, and
Yes. We worked through the state to bring in $2.5 million to help with not only the renovation, but the reopening of the Fox. We still have work to do, right?
Yeah, but that's going to get us partial occupancy, so we'll be able to actually start having more regular events.
now why is it so important for you to help support Fullerton Cares and to do the comedy show for autism?
Well, I mean, Fullerton Cares is a great group. I mean, we want to support all the nonprofits in town that we can support. So, I mean, we're publicly supported with tax dollars. So we feel like, I mean, for that reason alone, but just to be good community members, we got to support those organizations as much as we can.
Well, thank you so much for making this a special event. Now you tell me, why Fullerton Cares? Because we're here to raise funds for kids with special needs and also to bring the community together. Why are you here to support Fullerton Cares?
As a teacher, I can see the power in supporting different groups. And this group is transformational. What they do to support the kids really transforms those kids and allows them to experience other things that normally they wouldn't. So anything that will empower the kids, empower our community, we're all for it. And I'm sure that's what you're here. Transformation happens, empowerment occurs. You're there, right?
You know, I'm so excited because I know a lot of people know that you're also, you know, we're an educator, and I'm still continue to be. And what does it mean for us to educate children with special needs, and what is their role in our community?
Well, I think that we need to see anybody in our community as just like us. So whether it's special needs or mental health issues or any other issues, we need to understand they're part of our community, part of our families, and part of our team. And so they might have a little different way that they see things, but as we adjust and they adjust, we can all really contribute.
Well, thank you so much for, you know, giving me a piece of your time and also to be a part of this great community. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. We're going to sneak into the green room and hopefully we can get this VIP access. So come on, follow me. Hi, everybody. We are here with a special VIP backstage access pass, and we have here Erica. Miss Erica, tell everybody about who you are and where do we know you from?
Well, my name is Erica Rhodes, and I've done a few small parts I was on Modern Family and a show called Veep, and at midnight on Comedy Central. And I started in radio since I was 10. I did a radio show called The Prairie Home Companion. So
Those all sound very familiar.
Yeah.
Yes. So you know you're here today for a special event called a comedy show for autism. What does that mean to you, and why are we part of this event?
Well, I'm really excited to be part of this. I know a lot of people who are autistic. My cousin is, and I think it's a really great cause. And it seems like a lot of really good people came together to put this on. It's sold out, and great comics, and I'm happy to be part of it.
Now tell us a little bit and give us a little backstage about what are we going to talk about today and how are we going to get the crowd so wild and excited about you being out there?
Oh, geez, the pressure's on. I don't know if they're going to get excited. Usually they get kind of calmed down by my energy, you know. I'm not a wild and crazy comic. I'm more just like, that's a funny thought.
You're witty.
Yeah.
You're going to make them think, right?
Exactly.
And sometimes they're going to kind of slow to warm up, but when they have that laugh, it's going to be a really big belly laugh.
Now you got it. Now you got it. Yeah.
Well, tell us, you know, what is that one thing that you're known for? Because I know every comic has a special talent, a special topic. What is it that you like to talk about? And what's that topic of choice?
Love not working out, you know, heartbreak, and I like wordplay. So you were right that I try to be witty and kind of I like to play around with words.
We're so excited to watch you up there, and I know that the audience is going to have a great treat tonight. Thank you so much for being with us, Erica.
so happy to be here.
Tell the audience about, what autism means to you, because I want to know about that, because I know you said you have a few friends, or acquaintances that have autism. And tell to the audience what that means to you and why are we going to make this a great, successful event?
I think anything where people are challenged is really important, and important to come together to show support. I know people that struggle with all sorts of things, and autism is something you don't always see, so it's sometimes harder to recognize, but I think it's a really important cause. So,
well, thank you so much, and have a great time up there.
thank you.
Okay, have a great one.
Ladies and gentlemen, start clapping right now. Let's make some noise. Erica Rose.
Wow, the music is so crazy. Hello, I feel like I came to the coolest party in Fullerton. This is awesome. Wow. Are you drunk? Good. That's how it should be at a fundraiser. Everyone drunk. I was actually, if you can believe this, I was actually sober for 15 years. And then I turned 16. You can stop your booing, sir.
Hi, everybody. We are here backstage, and we have another special comedian to introduce you. This is my new friend, David. Come on, David.
Hi, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for having us. I hear you just were on stage.
I did. I just finished my set. I literally walked from the stage to here. So it was a great crowd out there. It's amazing.
Now, tell me, how did they receive you, and what was that punchline that really got the crowd going?
Oh, I can't say it here. Yeah, no. That's the thing that I love about it is doing an event like this. You're like, because being a comedian, you typically use adult language, and you go on stage and do that at a comedy club. But then you do a benefit. You're like, can you also do that adult language, or should you keep it really, like PG for everybody? And so I made part of my bit asking the questions, can I say this, can I say that? And they kept shouting, yeah, say it, we need a break. And so it was really cool. It's a great crowd.
Today we're here for autism and to support people with special needs and great jobs and all these great things. And, like we said, people with families with autism, they struggle sometimes. Yeah. But tonight, there's a little booze, there's a great drink, and all these great comedians. So I think it's an open, you can do whatever you want, say whatever you want. And it seems like they're having a great time, right?
Yeah, they are. It's a great crowd. They're having a great time. And there's like a little section up front, I think, for some VIPs. Yes. And they're absolutely loving it. They're loving it. So it was a blast.
Well, David, we're so blessed to have you. And I know, being a comic, oftentimes it comes with other territories, So I know a lot of comics have different challenges. Do you have any personal challenge that you would like to share? Or even people that maybe someone that makes them a great comic?
What do you mean exactly? Like a personal challenge, like something going on in their life, or like something like autism, or what exactly do you mean?
Anything, because I know like our friend Keith is up here, right? And Keith has autism, right. And oftentimes when you guys are comedians, there's that something that really gets you going, and it makes you for a great. Oh, look at this!
Wow.
Well really,
wow,
really.
Thanks, buddy.
That's part of the show,
that's
right?
What we do.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's what we do. So what I was going to say is a lot of times comedians will use traumatic events in their lives. And it's not a one-time thing that you go, this is something that I struggle with, so I'm going to use it for comedy. Life is a struggle. And that's why people look to comedians to sort of lighten the load. Because a lot of times, you may have a struggle right now, and then 3 years from now, you may have a different struggle from that. And so being able to leverage that, like for me, my dad died just 2 months ago, and it was unexpected. And so people didn't really understand how, just a week after his death, I was making jokes. And they were like, well, this felt a little uncomfortable to them. And I was like, look, my dad set me down at 7 years old and showed me Richard Pryor, which was not age appropriate. Yeah. He would be laughing hysterically about this stuff. So chill out a little bit. So it's about using that trauma to make something funny happen for somebody. That's all we really want to do.
You know, I think even for me, I love comedy. And, you know, for me, I struggle with mental health and depression and all these craziness. And people always say, well, you're so happy all the time. And I always tell people the happiest people sometimes are always the saddest people. But, you know, I think comedy is a great storyteller. I think comedians are great storyteller. And I just want to say thank you so much for telling your story and also for, you know, being part of this great cause. So thank you for being part of the Comedy Show for Autism. And tell me, why is it that you are here for autism?
I just wanted to do something for the organization. I've known about Fullerton Cares for a while, and I wanted to step up and do something. And I had featured for Jay Moore a few times at the Improv and at the Comedy Store, and we had done comedy before. And I saw he was doing this event, and I was like, I got to get on this. And I offered to do anything I could to volunteer, and they saw my comedy and said, why don't you do some time? So I was happy that I got to do something I love. But I would have set up chairs, I would have held the door, I would have done interviews like this backstage, whatever I could do to help out. So I was just fortunate to do what I love.
Well, we love you too, and you're awesome. Thank you so much. You have a great one.
Appreciate it.
Well, everybody, this is my friend, and, you know, it's the Autistic Thunder. But tell him your real name, first of all.
Yeah, the more important one, I'm not always Autistic Thunder. That's more my Instagram and my Twitter. Yoink. I'm Joshua Meyerowitz.
And Joshua, how are you connected to autism for those of us who, those of the audience who don't know who you are and anything about you?
Can't you tell? You know, autism can be a physical thing too. I look ridiculous. No. It's all jokes. I diagnosed since I was 14 with Asperger's syndrome. It has been my bane in life, but also the reason why I can do stand-up comedy. It's my benefit and my horror.
You know, I get to follow you on Facebook, and sometimes I see you without a shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me that story. What are we doing walking around naked like that?
First and foremost, I'm a nudist, so that does not bother me at all. I work for, since its incarnation, Roast Battle, the one you see on Comedy Central, to the point that Comedy Central paid me this year. I hope that doesn't come off like a brag. I was surprised when they were like, hey, we're going to pay you this time. I'm like, but I wanted to do it for free. I'm full of love and ghibli.
But you don't mind getting paid, right?
No, I'm a Jew. I like getting paid. I'm not in a great. I just, you know, you gotta save money. You don't want to lose anything. You don't know if you need a future. You could go to the hospital. You never know. Sorry, that's my father and me.
Well, you know, we're excited to have you, and we're always excited to see you. So tell me, why are you always helping us every year with this Comedy Show for Autism?
To think I could be of help to other autistic people. I not in a selfish way, like, wanted to be a help to myself because I struggle so much. Like, it doesn't get easier growing up. I'm 34. But if I can provide some sort of glimmer even of hope to parents of autistic people, what my parents had to go through to help me, desperate as they were, and very lovingly, if I can get the help, I hope they can get the help, because we all have a place that we need to belong to. Comedy was mine. I'm sure there's one for every single one of them.
You know, a lot of people see you as an inspiration, and I don't know you see that, but you know, when some of our families says, you know, oh, I don't know what's going to happen to my child, and when they grow up, what's going to become of them, and you became a comedian, and it becomes a job, right? And now, is it lucrative?
No, I rarely make any money from stand-up. I'm still 9 years in. It takes a long time. You ain't Richard Pryor immediately. I don't even know if I'll be good, period. I know that I'm allegedly good, and that's good enough for me. I make $1 or $2 here and there, and Comedy Central was my biggest paycheck I've ever had, a measly $600. But that's. By the way, I hope that didn't come off like selfish or rude in some form or fashion. I'm overthinking, aren't I?
You don't need to overthink. You know, all we want to do is learn a little bit about you and how do we support your career. Oh. So you know, when we talk about autism, we want to make sure that this becomes a career, that becomes a viable, you know, place to help you even live, you know, be independent. You know, how do we support you?
If not comedy, there's something out there. If anything, help your kids to be more extroverted, if anything, and they find themselves in the right situation. If you want to support me as a comedian, not just as an autistic person, I'm a human being first and an autistic person second, you know, not a gimmick. yeah, come find me on Instagram and Twitter at Autistic Thunder. It's based on a bit I do with I was an autistic superhero. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, thank you so much for being with us. And you know, you don't need to overthink it. We love you. We love you for who you are and everything about you.
Much love, Julia. It's a pleasure. It's a long time no see. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, you guys, we're going to keep the show rolling. This next comedian coming up is a special guest spot of mine. Very good friend. Tours all across the country doing comedy. You might have seen him on Comedy Central, Roast Battle, does podcasts all over. Give it up for the very talented Joshua Meyerowitz. Clap those hands. Hey! Oh, that energy is good. I'm psyched to be here. I'm happy you guys are psyched to be here. So if I didn't say before, I'll say it again now because it's important to me. I too am high functioning autistic, Asperger's diagnosed. Most of the time I just tell people I look like a terrible bootleg of Seth Rogen. However that goes. I've been kind of frustrated as of late. For a long time, I always get this response from people when I tell them I'm autistic. They're all like, "Oh yeah, you're definitely high functioning. If you never told us that, we would never know." I always say to them, "Give it a moment. It'll hit you." I also have to tell them not get weird on me. Don't get weird on me. You're nice, I got it. Yeah, it's all good. I'll be weird for you. Hey, this shit's ridiculous. It's like being retarded, except I'm smart. I've been doing stand-up 9 years now, and it's the first time I've ever allegedly been good at something in my entire life. Yeah. I had to find something, otherwise I'd be under my blanket saying, "I'll watch this anime today." It's a common thread. Yeah, I never had a life before this outside my immediate family, so my parents and my doctor were so happy for me. They never seen me so happy, you know? My doctor was all like, 10 pills a day and a dick joke, whatever works.
Hi, everybody. I'm here with, I don't know his name. You know, I know nothing about comedy. So, you know, all I know is this guy that just walked back and forth and was just, you know, interrupting all of my interviews. What's going on?
I don't know, Julie. I know your name. That's crazy, huh? Julie,
well, you know.
Julie, ladies and gentlemen.
Amir, you know, I love comedians, and you know, for me, with all the challenges that I go through, I always want to find an excuse to laugh. You know, and sometimes life is hard, and you guys make our life more tolerable and more bearable. And I just want to say thank you so much for giving us a reason to laugh and you know to live.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm kidding. What if I was like, "You're welcome"? Okay. No, that's great, man. It's always nice to hear that. I don't know if you want me to hold that. It's always so weird for someone to hold my microphone.
You want to hold your own mic?
No, it's okay. We can do the pass back and forth. There's only one. Low production value. Who's running this thing? No. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's always nice to hear that from fans and audience members, because that's why we do this. You know, for selfish reasons, because we feel good up there too. You know, but also spreading joy and being able to do causes like this, events, supporting any sort of cause like this is amazing for, Fullerton Cares. And, supporting our fellow comedian brothers like Keith Reza and Josh Meyerowitz, who you just interviewed, who I started comedy with. So when George Perez asked me to come do this, it's a no-brainer, you know?
Well, Amir, for those of us who don't know you, and especially me, tell me about your skits and what are you known for? Because everybody's got their story. So what do you like to talk about? And is it PG or is it different?
I don't fucking know. How's that, huh? How about that, huh? No, it's I do. I don't know. You just got to see it, I guess. I get that question a lot, and I think I talk about my family, and I do a lot of characters and stuff. I like to have fun with that. So I don't know. Maybe you can come and watch if you don't do any more interviews.
See, he's such a teaser. He's just trying to make me come to his show and maybe probably spend some money. I'm willing to do it because I'm willing to support comics and to support a great living and a great career because we need you. You know.
Oh,
Now it's your turn.
It was over there where you were doing the video.
That looks like payback. You know, so part of this comedian life. You know. Now, Amir, we're here for the comedy show for autism, and you know, we're gonna constantly get all these people like interrupting us.
Come back downstairs and we'll do a
So as you can see, you know, when we're doing these interviews for comedians, there's not a dull moment.
Right here, this is the alumni.
Yeah, I'm an alumni. You're the alumni.
love this
I still
guy.
have to pass. Do they pass people there?
I think so, dude.
Oh,
You're
that's
passed
nice.
tonight.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt your set. Much love. Much
Oh,
love.
it's okay.
Okay.
Well, you'll see, there's a lot of love backstage, and I just love that you guys can have this glimpse of, you know, these comedians as real humans, not just great entertainers. But you know, I just want to get back to my question before we're interrupted by all these great talents. Why are you here for the comedy show for autism?
You know, I was asking myself the same thing. I'm kidding.
Did you get lost and just happen to be here?
No, not at all. I was asked to come down here, whether you like it or not. And like I said, it's a great cause. And whenever you get in a chance to do this, like as a comedian, as a, performer, or touring, or whatever, it's always nice to give back and do these sort of events, especially when there's your buddies here, like Josh and Keith and our other friends that actually have autism, and you want to come and help support.
We're always here to support a friend, and I'm just glad I made a new friend today.
You're sweet. Oh, this is the best. You see that?
Thank you, everybody.
Magic. Thank you, guys.
Hi, everybody. When I'm here at, the Fox Theater and at any Fullerton Cares event, it's definitely a reunion for me. And I just want to introduce to you my really good friend, Keith Reza. And Keith, I just want to say, it's a pleasure to watch your career grow and to see, all the wonderful things you do in the community. So, I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and why are you part of this event?
Oh, well, thank you, Julie. You're very sweet. A little, can you guys, okay, a little about myself. I'm a stand-up comedian named Keith, and, I have a form of autism called Asperger's syndrome, which means I'm very, very smart. I have a very sophisticated sense of humor. And, a couple years ago, Larry saw my stand-up, and because I talk about having autism, and he said, hey, you want to go do the Fullerton Cares? And I was like, I would love to. And then he does it every single year. And I'm like, I would love to because I love stand-up. So, he did it again for the 4th year in a row. And, Jay Moore's headlining, and I actually open up for Jay. So, it means a lot because he's a good buddy. And, this cause is just, it's so fantastic because I wish I had programs like this when I was growing up.
We are so excited because I think the first time I met you was one of these comedy show for autism. And after that, I became one of your groupies. Yeah. I get to go to your events and watch you perform at all these special places. So, it's every time you come on stage, it's a different story. It's a nice twist. It's not just always the same thing. Yeah. And I love that you always bring new material. Tell the audience, those who don't know who you are, what do you like to talk about and what are you known for? Because, we got to talk about that T-shirt or the shirt that we've been doing.
Well, I talk about having autism, and the T-shirt is it's Pink Box, which is because I watch a lot of adult videos, which is XXX videos, and
but that's a spin-off of the Red Box.
Yes, it's
like with the movie rentals, right?
Exactly, and that's why I created the Pink Box, because if you go to a Red Box, you never have the XXX videos. So I told a joke about the Pink Box, and actually you were the one who made the shirts, and I love you very much for that. Like, you're an awesome and very supportive, and I don't think I would be half as good if it wasn't for people like you supporting me. So I love you very much from the heart.
Oh, Keith, you're a great special person to me, and you're a great friend. And one of the things that I do in my community, as with OC Autism, our 3 pillars is educate, empower, and employ. Yeah. You're educated. And when we even support your work within comedy, and I just did a small little gesture, Keith, presents and stars in all these great things, and he headlines all these shows. And at the end of the show, I want to buy a T-shirt. And Keith didn't have a T-shirt. And I said, you know what, that's a great idea. So I just wanted to be that seed money for you and to get that going. And I was so excited because now every time I go to your shows, I see people buying the shirt and supporting you. So, like I said, I was talking with Joshua, I want to make sure that this is a viable career, not just a hobby.
Yeah.
Right? So I know you get to headline for Norm and all these guys. So tell me, how did he become your mentor?
Well, I don't headline when I do shows with Norm. Norm actually headlines. Norm just, he's my favorite comic ever since I was like a kid. And, I felt like a real connection with him when I watched his stand-up on TV and on late night. So I snuck into a comedy club when I was 16 and I saw him perform. And he was like my hero, and like we bonded, like literally bonded in a spirit form. And every single year he said, hey, come back next year when I'm in town. And that's how the friendship grown. And then when I became good at comedy, like it took about 8 or 9 years. He said, hey, you want to open up for me? And that's how that happened. And that was a dream come true because, I just want to be his friend,
Because, you opened for Norm Macdonald in Las Vegas. Was that it?
Yeah.
Because I remember there was some big shows that you had, and I was so excited. I'm like, wow, Keith, you're going places. Tell me about that experience. What that felt like for you to be opening up for Norm.
Oh, it's the best feeling. Like I said, he's my hero, and, he's more than that. He's more like a comedy dad to me. He really teaches me the ways of comedy and what to do, what not to do. And he's mentored me a lot. And, he's also one of those guys, like I wouldn't be as successful without you. I wouldn't be as successful without his support.
You talk about Norm being kind of like your autism, your comedy father. Yeah. For all the parents out there who have kids with autism and they struggle with that, what is your best advice to these families about how to love and embrace their kids with autism?
Well, the advice is just, I would say not really think of them as being autistic. Just think of them as being your child. And, supporting, because a lot of autistic people aren't verbal, like I wasn't very verbal growing up. And so I think that people just need to just understand it's still their child, and there's nothing... like it's a great cause. Sorry, it was a great. I accidentally grabbed her boob. It's a great cause, but I think there's a lot of positive sides to autism, but then the public puts a lot of negative spin on it. And I think that that's bad because we're not negative people. We're very understanding, and we can tell emotions from people who we love. So I think that that's what being autistic really means, is we just want to be accepted for being loved. And I think that parents understand that, and I'm glad that the communities like Fullerton Cares, are showing, like we're getting good programs in schools now. Like I said, when I was growing up, that wasn't there because no one cared.
Well, we care a lot about you, and we want to continue to support your career. And I know you're going to be performing soon, right?
Yeah, I am doing a 1 hour stand-up special that I'm filming and I'm producing myself, and like the goal is I want to try and sell it to Netflix, because there's all these specials coming out on Netflix, but not one of them has a comedian with autism or a form of disability that can show their talents.
Now, how do we help you and get that going? Because I want to support you, and I want everybody in all the audience to know how we can help Keith and make this a special career for you to continue to do this thing and to tell us about autism and even laugh about it.
Well, there's several ways. One, give me money. It sounds, but yeah, it's costing me a lot just to film this, and I don't make a lot of money. I never have, and so that helps. But the most important thing is just come to my shows and let me change your life like I changed your life, because I have that ability. And I'm not the only one. A lot of autistic people have that talent, and that's what I'm trying to do, is show that form of strength. And then another thing is just, support my career. Follow me on social media, and if you can't come to a show, tag 3 friends and say, listen, give this guy a chance, because that's what all we need is a chance. And when you give us a chance, we succeed. The only reason why people, with autism or any other type of disabilities, they don't succeed is because they've never been given the chance.
Well, that's one thing that you said that was so beautiful to me. And that's what we do with OC Autism. We want to create opportunities. Yeah. And we want to make sure that we give all of our kids a chance to succeed. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Keith. We love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too.